Welcome to Bellwork. It is Monday, so therefore I am going to do some of these problems with you. I want to get a chance to review a little bit some ideas. You're going to be asked to translate again today like you were last week. There's a difference between decoding and translating. And we are hoping that you are in translating mode. Decoding is not sufficient. So for instance, if you had this circumstance and it said x plus 8, you would be decoding it. You would just say what the ink says. Translating shows a little bit better vocabulary, a little bit better comprehension. So there we have the sum of a number and 8. So just keep that in mind this week if you're asked to put answers in that involve you to translate. Okay? And that's if you're translating it into English. Now, you might not be asked to translate it into English this week. You might be able to translate it into math. So your answers will still look like this. A couple reminders for the week. Only use X when it says a number. You can use X or capital X, but the answer key is set for that. Do not use spaces, as is the case usually when you guys enter math expressions into a Google form. Yep. So continuing on. This will be the page we might come back and take some notes. And here we see that your Bellwork says, please determine which line has the mistake in the following problem. So assume that you have been asked to simplify. And then you are approaching this like a multiple choice problem. Your answer will either be A, B, C, D, or E. Okay? The place for you to provide the correct answer is the place where there is a mistake. So it is a PEMDAS problem. You've been asked to simplify. So I'm asking you sort of like read and be the teacher and sort of grade here. So if you're applying PEMDAS, the first thing that would need to be done is 2 minus 7, and it looks like that is correct. Okay? And then you're looking to see, okay, it seems like the exponent would go next because we just worked inside the parentheses. So negative 5 squared would be 25. That's not wrong. It's not a sign mistake. Negative times negative is positive. And then we would sit there and say, well, what comes next? You'd be looking for multiply and divide. So this is subtract, this is times, and this is add. So where does that take us? We need to multiply first. So what I would expect is to do negative 3 times 25. But it looks like, this person decided they were going to do 5 minus 3 is 2. So it would seem that on line C, the person's made a mistake. On line C, they should not have done the 5 minus 3. So, therefore, C is incorrect. On your Google form today, you will enter C for problem 1. Moving on to the next one, please write a math expression for the following. Okay, so we're going to write symbols and a math phrase for thus. The difference between a number tripled and 8. So the difference, active reading, we circle it. It's a minus sign. And it says between a number tripled and 8. Well, a number tripled is one expression. 8 is your second expression. And when we say the difference of this and that, where the and is where the minus goes. So we've got our minus. Now we're looking at our active reading. A number tripled is x times 3, but a better way to write that is 3x. And then 8, wow, how are we going to say that? I think we're just going to say 8. Therefore, your answer to number 2 that you will enter is 3x minus 8. Continuing on with number 3, it is a perometer problem. It says, please estimate 41% of 381. Okay, these are going to be a little harder as we go. I want you guys to have the mindset of when you see 41%, you should be thinking 40%. Okay? And when you look at 381, probably be thinking 380. Because we are doing an estimate. We're trading speed for accuracy. Okay? So what we have here is that our perometer is to go 380. And we said a better strategy before you split it in half is to go to 10%. So that's going to be 38. Up here, you're going to have 190. So from there, again, you guys have gotten really good at making combinations off your left side to make a strategy. Well, for 40%, there's two ways to do it. Both are legit. 50% minus 10% is equal to 40%. Great strategy. Setting up the lines for where we're going to get that right over the star would be the answer. Or another great strategy, 4 times 10% is 40%. So we got 4 times whatever 10% is going to be the answer. Probably should get about the same thing. Now, you could sit there and say, well, I need to do 41%, so maybe it's actually a little more than that. But then you also reduced the 381 to 380, so I think this is not a lot of changing you've done in making this estimate. So we see here in the first strategy, and again, you need to have your strategy written, okay, for every problem this week. I will be checking that for the work. This will be 190 minus 38, which is like 190 minus 40, which is like, 150, but then I took away too much, so it's literally like 152, okay? And then if you want to do 4 times 10%, same thing. We have 4 times 38, which is 152. So just reviewing how you're entering your answers. What I'm circling right now in the green boxes is what your answers will be for number 1, 2, and 3. Number 4 will be graded by number 3 will be graded manually because there's too much variability for the answer key. So when it comes up that you got it wrong, you'll have to wait for me to come back and take a look at it. I will take a look at your work the next time I have access to your work. Thank you.